My wife and I have been married for 7 years. We live in a cozy home in a town near the sea. We happily welcome the birth of our daughter, Anya. She is 5 years old this year. Yesterday, my daughter attended the birthday party of a classmate, a boy named Penn. I took my daughter to her friend's house at 8 p.m. for a party. Penn's mother arranged to come pick up Anya around 10:30 because she wanted to organize a pretty grand party for their son. I'm quite comfortable in my child's extracurricular and social activities. Around 10 o'clock, I left home to pick up my daughter and returned quite late, around 11:20 p.m. As soon as I got the baby home, my wife put Anya to bed, and then she went to sleep, and I watched football in the living room and fell asleep. In my sleep, I heard my daughter whispering to me, "Daddy," then pulling my sleeve. I woke up and she asked, "Dad, guess how old I will be next month?" "I don't know," I replied, half awake. "Are you still not sleeping, baby?" Suddenly, she pulled out 2 fingers from her pocket and lifted them up. And then she added 4 more fingers. "I'm 6 years old, Dad." Her innocent voice made me laugh. I reached out and patted my daughter's head. But then, I immediately realized that something is very, very wrong and looked back. The 2 fingers my daughter was holding were human fingers, and to be more precise, these were the fingers of a child. Hastily snatching 2 fingers from my daughter, I squinted my trembling eyes to look carefully at the objects. After hearing and seeing everything, my wife panicked and burst into tears, holding our daughter tight. I tried calmly asking our daughter where she got those 2 fingers from. My daughter innocently said they were a gift from the clown at the party. We immediately called Penn's mother to ask about the activities and attendees at the party. She said that a clown came to perform and gave the children different gift boxes, but the gift box her son received was a few candies. My wife and I looked at each other in shock when we heard her say that. We immediately called the police and provided all the information and evidence for the investigation. The next 2 days, my husband and I asked for permission for a short leave, and we also asked to work from home to ensure her absolute safety. After investigating and testing DNA from 2 human fingers, the police revealed the identity of that unfortunate child. It was a boy, 1 year younger than my daughter, and his family reported him missing 2 days ago. It is known that after the boy went missing, the family received a blackmail call from a strange phone number. However, the amount of money was too large. The family did not have time to prepare. They only received one last message that their child had died and completely lost contact with the kidnapper. The search for the boy and the clown expanded and became more intense. A few days later, the body of the boy in distress was found in a remote area near the town, nearly 30 kilometers, but there was no trace of that clown. Checking all the video recordings and photos at Penn's birthday party, the image of that clown was very blurry. Penn's mother said that she and her husband both thought this was a surprise the other had for the children, so they were not on guard. The photos only captured parts of him, such as his arms, shoulders, and hair. With only such images, it is very difficult to confirm his identity and to hunt down the predator. My wife and I are more scared every time we think that the kidnapper has approached our daughter. He showed these 2 fingers to my daughter as a challenge to the police, as well as a chilling warning to my family. Surely that pervert has noticed my family and is still somewhere around here. I'm Jax. I was 31 years old. I thought I was handsome with blonde hair, blue eyes, over 6 feet tall. There are many interesting persons I've met, but I'm still waiting for the one who's really right for me. On the flight back to visit my family that summer, after all the check-ins, I sat waiting for the boarding time. A man sitting in the opposite row looked at me intently. He has toned muscles, healthy brown skin, curly hair, and a high nose bridge. He wore an elegant black suit. I think he was on the same flight as me. The flight was suddenly delayed by 2 hours because the destination was having bad weather. I had to play games on my phone to pass the time. About 30 minutes later, I was startled to see that man still looking at me, smiling, friendly, and waving. I was a bit surprised and waved back. I was actually quite impressed with that appearance. He proactively approached, introduced himself as Alex, 33 years old, and working as an engineer in Texas, which is also my hometown, coincidentally. He said he noticed me from the first time he saw me. That's right, he's gay, and so am I. People like us will have a special feeling about people who are similar to us. Alex and I follow each other's Instagrams. I want to get to know Alex better. The flight finally took off, and we sat quite far apart. Landing at the Texas airport, I got my luggage back. Alex pulled 2 suitcases and happily walked towards me. We asked each other about the next destination. Alex said there was another package. Alex asked me to hold the 2 suitcases and quickly return to the baggage gate. I didn't think much and happily agreed to wait for Alex. But he hadn't come back for 30 minutes. Looking at the clock, it was almost 10 p.m. Another 15 minutes passed. I tried contacting Alex via Instagram several times, but to no avail. Both mine and Alex's luggage were 4 large suitcases. I couldn't drag them all over the airport to find him. Hunger and fatigue made me frustrated. Alex called me back, apologizing very much for keeping me waiting. Because something unexpected happened, Alex left the airport first. Alex told me to go to the address he texted and sent a private driver to the airport to pick me up. He wanted to invite me to his house for a meal to thank him. I felt better after receiving Alex's call. Alex's personal driver is a man taller than me, with a fierce face. The car he picked me up in was quite old, cluttered with bottles and jars, making me feel uncomfortable. The driver took me to a small, shabby house on a deserted road. I looked around bewildered, got out of the car and went inside following the driver's instructions. The house was dimly lit, had a strong, musty smell, and had an indescribable cold feeling. I walked very slowly, looked around as I walked. The driver was still walking behind me and staring at me. I started to feel scared, told the driver to call Alex to come and get the suitcase back and I would wait here. He didn't answer or do anything, just stood there staring at me. Taking a few seconds to try to calm down, I quickly walked towards the door, saying as I walked that I had something urgent to do first and would text Alex later. The driver immediately stopped me. I was stunned. There was a noise behind me. Before I could figure things out, the driver grabbed my arms and restrained me. He forced me to go deeper into the dark house despite me asking a lot of questions. He pushed me into a room. In front of me was Alex with a strange smile holding a sharp knife. The room was cluttered with strange medical equipment, many of which were still covered in blood. On the wall hung many photos of different men. They will lose any part of their body or have knives or scissors close to their skin. Their expressions were extremely painful and panicked. The middle photo and also the largest photo is a photo of Alex and the driver taken together. They posed with extremely intimate gestures and smiles as if they were mocking viewers. So panicked, all I could do at that moment was run away. I tried to struggle away from the driver, but his strong grip held me firmly. Alex grabbed my hair with one hand and held it tight. His other hand slowly brought the knife towards me. I begged in fear, but Alex continued to bring the knife. Alex and the driver burst into perverted laughter and were extremely satisfied when they saw me begging and shaking. Just as the tip was about to touch my face, the loud sound of police outside surrounded the house. Alex and the driver looked out in surprise. I took the opportunity to get up and escape. Running outside, I saw 3 police officers along with my father looking at me worriedly. On the way with the strange driver, I had texted my dad about my situation and sent him the location. Luckily, he arrived in time. Alex and the other driver were arrested. They're actually a gay couple. They target gay people like me. terrifying them with blood and wounds, satisfying their perversion with screams and begging. Everything is completely different from the kind and handsome appearance that Alex has. His face and that disgusting smile still haunt my mind to this day.